Dope. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Who You With, Kurt. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm in. Welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm in. Welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to speak. I'm M. 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 I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kurt, dog?
Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog. I'm M. Who You With, Kurt, dog. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hopefully, y'all having a great day today. I know I had a great day. Just chill and relax. Man, there's been some great games going on today. I'm not a Cowboy fan right now. When Jerry leave, I'll come back. But other than that, shout out to the team, to the players of the Cowboys. They did win against North Carolina today, and then right now the game that is on now is the GOAT is back in New England. We're gonna see what happened right now. They're down 3-7, so we shall see. All aboard. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you for always tuning in, and also welcome everyone to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt, dog. I'm M. Who You With, Kurt, dog. You can chat live with us in the chat room, just like all aboard did already. And everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and D Live is always in the house. And then we also have Anchor.fm that is also live too. So, well, we're recording Anchor.fm, but you can always catch the show on Anchor.fm and be able to be a part of the show. You can also sponsor the show, just a small fee of $2.99 a month, which is pretty good, where you can get other shows besides the regular shows that we do on the social media. So yeah, so that game is going on now. I'm just kind of curious, who do you think will win tonight? The Patriots or Tampa Bay? And then yesterday, kept getting all these alerts on my phone yesterday. Excuse me, about this killing that happened, and on yesterday, where a employee got upset and went on a killing rampage. 3 killed after this ground employee goes on a rampage in Polk County. Sheriff says, and that's down in Florida, Davenport, Florida. According to Polk County Sheriff Office, 3 people have now died after an attack in an unincorporated Davenport. Deputies say they now have a suspect in custody. That 39-year-old Shaun Runyon. Sheriff Grady Judd say that early on Friday morning, Runyon punched his supervisor and ran away from work. Runyon is an employee of J&B Electric, a Pennsylvania electric company that was in Polk County doing work for Publix supermarket in Lakeland. Runyon and his fellow employees lived in a Windsor Allen Resort neighborhood on Saturday morning around 9 a.m. The Polk County Sheriff Office received a call that there had been a murder. They say they found out the Runyon had returned to the neighborhood, went into the multiple bedroom home armed with a baseball bat and a knife. He allegedly stabbed and beat 7 victims in the home. One victim was beaten to death in their bed while they slept. Another victim was beaten significantly and transported to a local hospital where they succumbed to their injury. From the attack, a third victim was found dead on the front porch of the resident. Deputies say Runyon then chased the fourth victim into the street and struck that person in the back with a baseball bat. A man, woman, and their 7-year-old daughter were able to escape without harm. The victim are believed to be his co-workers and are their family members. In a horrific scene, the entire scene is horrific. And the sheriff said Runyon then left the scene and led the Polk County Sheriff Office on a manhunt. He showed up to the house in Lake Wales, covered in blood, claiming that he had been sexually assaulted. The homeowner told him he should go to the hospital, and that is where detectives were able to put him in custody. According to the Polk County Sheriff Office, there is no indication as to what enraged him so badly that 24 hours later he would return in an attempt to kill them all. Runyon does not have a criminal record. The last time he was arrested in Pennsylvania for a violent arrest dealing with a strangulation, the Polk County Sheriff Office has charged Runyon with 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count aggravated assault. Yeah. Um, on another story that I read about him, apparently while he was working at 2 o'clock in the morning, he got upset at his supervisor and he punched him in the face and left. He left the supermarket and came back, went to the house they were staying at, and went on a killing rampage. Um, and that's a sad situation. All aboard said, always Florida's shaking my head. Yeah, we get a lot of stuff going on in Florida. Um, they may need to check the pipes in Florida because it may be something going on in the water or something because it's always something going on in Florida. Not saying that Florida is a bad state. Y'all just have a bad government, just like we have a bad government. And when you have bad leadership, these are normally the results sometime from it. Unfortunately, he's originally from Pennsylvania. So, but yeah, um, I don't know how long he been there. If he came there to help due to the storm, well, he was at the corporate office at Publix. So that's always a bad situation to for him to go in and kill all these people while they were sleeping. I don't know if one of these people was the one that he hit at the grocery store corporate office. It didn't go into detail, but it's always a bad situation when someone take a life, and that's just crazy. Okay, all aboard said the public's headquarters in Lakeland. Um, Lakeland is close by Orlando, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I believe it's close to Orlando. It's somewhere up in that area. I know you in Florida, so you would have more idea than have a better idea than where it's located than myself. Um, yes, she said it is close to Orlando. I thought I seen that not too long ago. So um, it seemed like Polk County always have a lot of stuff going on. Polk County and it's another county that always have some type of murder or something going on. Because we've talked about Florida quite a bit over the years, and Um, it's sad that that's what we having to deal with. Um, but I just thought about something else I need to pull up. Um, so that's something that we having to deal with on a regular basis. The mass killings, which is unnecessary. Unnecessary. But I understand people deal with mental health, which it doesn't give them the right to do it, but it is it's pretty sad because nobody win in that situation. Um, Nobody at all. Um, Here in Texas, um, hold on, I want to make sure I'm looking at this correctly. Um, Before I tell, but also, uh, okay, okay, that's all. Also, here in Texas, a couple of days ago, oh, all the boys said a waste of life. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Um, a couple of days ago, I guess it was Friday, I believe it was. Um, a story came out here in Texas, which we've talked about this before on the show. Um, Another transgender woman was killed on Friday, was found murdered in a apartment complex here in Arlington, which is just west of Dallas. And she was killed, but they're trying to see if it had anything to do with her being a transgender. And the problem is, Miss Risky and I have talked about these stories before, which is it's not right. They are human
It's a fall
beings.
family walk. An extra
They are
mile on a
human beings,
crisp
and
morning. It's your
if you
favorite
don't like
blend with a
because of their
cozy compliment of
sexuality,
the ones you
keep
love.
moving.
The
You don't have to
comforting
deal
aroma
with them.
cook
Hold on, I hope y'all not hearing that in my ear. I forgot I had a mic on in case someone called in. But uh, so I heard about this story the other morning. It actually, why is my computer tripping? Get out of there. Okay, this happened on the first, which was Friday morning. Um, so Arlington police say they are investigating the killing of a 21-year-old transgender woman. That was officer responded by 9:30 p.m. on Thursday to an apartment in 1100 block of Stone Trail Road in North Arlington near Collins Street and Green Oak Boulevard. According to a police news release, um, a resident at the apartment called police after they found an unresponsive person inside a park inside of a parked vehicle. When officers arrived, they found the victim identified by family as Kia Cartier had been shot. Police said she was taken to a hospital where she later died. Um, Cartier's best friend, Davon Haggett, had said it still hasn't hit him that she's gone. I was literally just with her. He said now 72 hours later, she gone. Described her as being a ball of joy. Everybody just loved who she was. Um, Said her mother gave him permission to do an interview and shared photos of her, but said her family is still trying to wrap their mind around this tragedy, as all they want is justice is an answer. Detectives on Friday were still investigating the shooting and canvassed the neighborhood for possible witness or surveillance video. Police said they did not believe she lived at the apartment complex, um, but said she was living in Arlington. The investigator had no information about a possible suspect. Um, so that's a sad situation. Prayers go out to that family that they're having to deal with this. Um, which we talk about this quite a bit because Miss Risky and I think it was last month or the month before, we talked about um, how many transgenders in America have been killed this year alone, and it's a lot. We actually highlighted some of the victims of it. Some have been solved, some haven't been solved. Um, so it's crazy. Said, have you spoken on the 19-year-old that was killed by the maintenance man in Orlando? No, I haven't. Um, that came out. I seen that story. I think it was yesterday. But it came out. She went missing. The maintenance man used this master key to come into her apartment, and then she uh, ended up being killed. And 2 days later, he ended up taking his life. Um, so that's that's disturbing. That's somebody who um, she trusted, or not that he's supposed to have been there, but still, um, he came into her house and um, came into her house and didn't have. I don't think he had a work order either. He didn't have a work order. He just came in, used his key, and then they believe he committed suicide later. Um, I'm trying to pull it out. I have a lot going on. If you're just not tuning in, or if it's your first time tuning in, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, let them know where we are live. And sometimes we may actually, someone may actually give us information while we live on the show, and we have to pull it up, and so we may have to search it right then and there to make sure we're giving you the right information. So it's saying maintenance worker death could be tied to missing 19-year-old from South Florida. A maintenance worker who the Orange County Sheriff Office said had a romantic interest in a missing 19-year-old woman from South Florida has been found dead, according to investigators. Deputies continue searching for Maya Marcano, who went missing on Friday. Marcano from Pembroke Pines is a student at Orlando uh, Valencia College. She graduated last year from Fleegan High School in Pembroke Pines. On Monday, deputies said they found Armando Manuel Cabello, 27, apparently dead by suicide in Seminole County, and that they had been looking for him to question him about Marcano's disappearance. So he had been actively searching for Cabela this weekend, and I want to reiterate, Maya is still missing. So she's still missing, and they're still trying to find her, said Orange County Sheriff John Mino. Her disappearance suspicious, another detective and the family members obviously suspect foul play. So I seen the interview that I believe it was her cousin gave, and um, it was pretty heart wrenching because here it is, she just going by her everyday life, and um, here's somebody in the background paying attention to your every move, and now she's missing. And um, trying to see if there's any updates on it because I just realized the story was that one was what's a couple of days old. Um, okay, say she came out yesterday. They believe she have been found. So hopefully they believe the body believed to be her. Um, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, all aboard. Um, and yeah, that's what I just said. She had been found. Um, I'm trying to see where was she found at. Which we talked about this on the show last week. Um, and we're going to try to continue to highlight this. Um, there's a lot of missing people in the world. No person missing is greater than the other person, because when somebody is missing and we suspect foul play,
cell phone records
everything
showed
need
us
to.
that Caballero was in or near the Timber Scan apartments
Hold on.
Friday
I hate when
evening
stuff
between
starts
8 and
playing
9
in my
o'clock.
ear.
That's the evening.
Okay, let me cut that one off. Hate when videos start playing in my ear. But uh, no missing person is greater than the other one. If somebody missing, what if it's a child or an adult, and you suspect foul play, it should be taken serious. Unfortunately, in today's society, Black folks don't get that opportunity. Normally, when a Black person come up missing, they say, "Oh, they probably just ran away. Oh, they'll be back," or whatever the case may be. But that's not always the situation. So, and we talked about this before, which we are working on a story for the end of the year that we're going to go more in detail about it. But the Amber Alert system, we've done a show about that, because unfortunately, we may get an Amber Alert throughout the night, but if it don't meet certain criteria, we don't hear about it. And the chances, and I'm talking about here in Texas, um, a lot of time we don't get Amber Alert when it's dealing with Black people, which is not good. But it should be equal across the board, which several years back, a young lady who was, and I forgot her name, she was walking, I believe, to the bus stop, and she was on the phone with a family member, and then uh, they realized something was wrong. She was being attacked or whatever, and the Dallas police drove their foot on it. And several days later, the young lady was found in a vacant house. They did not take that serious enough, and that's what we need to stop. We need to be able to take everybody serious. And you saying that people say we shouldn't talk about Black Lives Matter. Well, it does matter, but Black lives are not respected enough from authority to actually go out and do something about it. Because here it is, when it come down to Black folks and missing people or Amber Alerts, we are the last ones before excuse me, before we're actually take it serious enough. I don't know if y'all watched Saturday Night Live last night, but I caught part of it before I passed out. But Saturday Night Live did the sketch about this young lady being missing for a decade, and nobody paid attention to it. They put on there that, and they pointed out the facts that when it come down to white people, they like, oh, critical missing person on the flyers and rewards and all of that. But then when it come down to Black lives, they like want it. $15 gift card or somewhere, uh, wherever they did the sketch to. But the thing is, that's reality. when it come down to Black lives being missing, they don't take it serious enough to really pay attention to it. Hold on, we got a call coming in. Hold on real quick.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All aboard. What's going on? Long time no hear.
How's it going?
It's going good. I'm making it. I was worried about you. I ain't seen you in a while. Come on the feed. It's been a while.
I've watched some of the shows, but I've just been busy, but I've been keeping up with you guys.
Well, I appreciate it.
I wanted to speak on it.
Well, come on, speak on it.
I wanted to speak on that topic, especially the reason why it's so important for everyone's life to be valued, especially people who transgender people and women, men as well. Everyone's life needs to be valued, because when that doesn't happen, they're targets.
Yes.
Right? For the monsters in our society that would love to get away with hurting someone. And that's why we can't get caught up in our religious beliefs or politics. Like, everyone needs to matter in that situation. Transgender people are targeted. So I'm happy that you brought that up.
Yes, they are.
And this woman, Mercado, it's really tragic, because she was just going about her life, and this person comes into her apartment, and for a moment of pleasure, he took her life and discarded her, and now his life is gone as well.
Well, he committed suicide. Now, I believe in this. If you are a man or woman enough to commit a crime, accept the consequences that come with it. Don't take the easy way out. Accept the consequences. Go through the court system. If you got to do prison for the rest of your life, do it. Why take the easy way out?
Don't have people.
Yeah, don't do the crime.
If you're a criminal, we need to get rid of all these losers and monsters in our society. Because I had an experience that happened to me personally, where I was living in a condo, and I was getting letters sent to my house where a person was saying they were watching me, and stalking me. Person I didn't know, and it's a very scary feeling to be a single woman, and she was a young woman that was living on her own, going to school, and she was killed.
Yeah.
So
19 years old.
Thank you for calling that out.
19 years old, and to be honest with you, at 19, that's really young, and it kind of tell you the mindset that she have, where she was responsible enough to have her own place at 19. Now, of course, her parents may have been helping her, her family may have been helping her, but she was responsible enough where they would trust her to do the right thing at 19, which is really good. And she was in college, and now this guy have came through and basically ripped her life, took her life, and took her life, and then take the easy way out and took his own life, which is not good.
And her family was a very vocal family. Apparently, her family was very involved in investigating it on their own. And it wasn't until there was another person who was killed, unfortunately, that got a lot of attention, that it brought the attention to her and a few other people who've been missing. And
exactly.
We have to be very situationally aware. There was a time I was actually on the phone with a friend, and I was pulled into the bushes, And so people think these are isolated incidents. There are a lot of predators running around among us.
Yes,
right?
it is.
and that's why you have to stay vigilant. Make sure if I live in an apartment setting, I change my locks immediately. You
Yes.
know,
You have to do
because
everything you can to protect yourself. Hold on real quick, all aboard, because I don't want us to go too deep and then have to stop in the middle. Hold on real quick. Hold on. You are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. Right now we are talking about the 19-year-old that was killed in Florida. Anchor.fm. We will have it up on part 2 in just a minute. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. I'm Who You With Kurt Dog. We are back on part 2. We are talking to all aboard about the 19-year-old that was killed in Florida. All right, all aboard. I'm sorry I had to cut you off because the time was getting ready to run out. They only give me 30 minutes on Anchor at a time, so I had to do that real quick. But yeah, the family played a big part in it, and helping to investigate. I know that's heart-wrenching to have to deal with that. As for here it is, your loved one, somebody who was well trusted, someone who had a good mindset, that was trying to do everything right, but now this person is missing and you don't know where your loved one is, which is hard. And then as for transgenders, we hearing about too many transgenders being killed, all because of their preference. I know transgender people. I treat them just like anybody else because they are human first, and hopefully we can. I've talked about it. I think it was earlier this year or last year. I said I would love to get a show together with transgender, but I have to see how we could do it because I don't want to put anyone at risk either by coming on the show. Maybe they can call in and we can have a conversation about some of the things they go through. Because any discrimination, I don't care who it's against, it's wrong. You should treat everybody with respect. Just because they don't like the same thing you like, live with it. Move around.
And what that does, when we don't respect everyone in society, it really does give other people a false license to hurt them, and also when we don't just accept that other people feel other ways, they end up living riskier lifestyles, because they have to have that extra layer. So I definitely support what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves respect.
I had someone to leave a comment on one of the shows we did, and I feel like I answer it pretty truthfully. It wasn't a negative comment, so definitely don't think it was negative. But it was about I want to say the sister that Miss Risky and I talked about, that went to the party, and the next morning she was found dead in the yard, and they was like,
"Oh yeah, yep,
you got to be careful."
That was in Georgia.
Yeah, I want to say they said you got to be able to hang around your own kind, and my response was, I don't agree with you, because I have people from other race that will stand beside me. If I'm in a fight, they'll be right there with me on the side of me, just like I would do the same with them also. But we got to be careful of all people who you let in that space, because the thing is, when it comes down to people who you trust, sometimes those are the ones that hurt you the most. Family members, so-called friends. The OJ said it back. He said it the best back in the days. Backstabbing. They smile in your face and stab you in the back. So, and that's what I explained to them about. It's not about just people. You need to know who you're dealing with, who's going to be there by your side through tough times. And one day, I'll tell some of the things I've been through, and it'll shock. Well, it probably won't shock a lot of people, but to know that some of the things I've gone through and have come through, that's why I'm the person I am today. Um,
Mhm.
so I haven't always been this so uh, uh, quiet, meek person, but trust me, my guards are always up. I don't care who it's with, um,
Speak on it.
and that's all to it. That's now people. I'm very outspoken because if flies are flying around some mess, that's telling me that's a mess, and I don't deal with mess. So a lot of people, they cannot understand the fact that I'm so honest and truthful with a person, and I don't beat around the bush. I say what I have to say, and I will repeat it. If I say something about somebody, which I don't talk about nobody behind their back, but if I did, and I could say it back to them right to their face. That's
Mm.
just me, but I'm always gonna keep it 100 at all time, and that's that's just the way to be in life. If you be honest with a person, you have no reasons to try to remember what you said, and that's just me. I'm just an honest person. Some people say you too honest. How can you be too honest?
I
And
think
so,
it's important for people to expose and talk about these things because a lot of things are hidden, and when things are hidden, that's when um, um, a lot a lot of things are able to happen, and people are able to. I don't know how to exactly say it, but just situations like that guy that hurt that woman, both
yeah,
in both cases, they were allowed to get away with their bad behavior. It didn't come out of nowhere. I'm sure there's people that know that something was wrong with them, and you can get your problem addressed and get help if you have people speaking on it, right?
true.
He hurt. He was in. He was known in that complex for going into other people's houses and being weird, right?
Hmm.
Before, and it wasn't addressed, and then eventually he just took it too far. He did it. He killed her. You know.
Yeah,
Then he killed himself. That could have all been avoided. Really, that's a waste of two lives
true.
because like you said, he should have been brought to justice, and she should have been with her family.
That's so
But
true.
I'm happy that you spoke on it.
Well, and also I'm gonna talk about this one story that I know of personally. A friend of mine's. Um, they had just purchased a home. Now the builder of that home um, would just show up out the blue, and just so happening one particular night, the husband just left the house, and she heard a noise. She called, said, "Hey, baby, did you come back?" He said, "No." She said, "No, somebody's in the backyard." So he came back, and by the time he got back, he was gone. But we realized what was going on. That builder had a spare key to the house. So we was about to set up and beat the dude down because I was like, you know what? Let her roll in and we be in the back seat of the car. And he see her coming in and let him show up. He finna get an old fashioned ass whooping. But
Well, he can't understand because that's what he deserves. We
Yeah.
have to check these people in our society that are violent and not normal, like violent and predatory. We have to address it.
True. And the sad part, the guy was married, lived in the community. But the company did. I want to say they terminated him, and I want to say the police got involved or something. But either way, it was going to be more than just the police. It was going to be some ass whooping going on. Just to tell you like it is. But one thing I don't like is someone to take advantage of someone, and I don't like a person to lie to me. Because when you lie to me, I can't trust you. And unfortunately, it's people choose to lie instead of being honest. So, but yeah, I definitely appreciate it. We are making some changes. We working on something, Miss Risky and I. So, for the holidays, we working on getting the swag bag together. So, you definitely want to tune in because tell a friend about us. And if anybody have any show ideas, they can always let us know, and we'll speak on it, especially history or a case you want us to pull up. We will talk about it. Are you watching the game tonight, or who you going for tonight?
I'm not a huge sports fan, but I'm gonna go with Tampa. I'm living in Florida,
Yeah,
and I don't like the Patriots. They won too much already.
Well, thanks to Brady, but right now, and this is not a surprise at all. Right now, Tampa Bay is losing. Uh, they have 6, and the Patriots have 7. But I guess Tampa Bay just scored another field goal because it was 3-7 when I looked at it when I first came on. So, but that don't mean anything when you're dealing with Brady. He'll come back in the last 2 minutes and win a ball game. So
I saw a joke. I think it was Kevin Hart that did it. It was talking about basically, I guess the referees give him a lot of leeway. Like you can't tackle him, you can't do anything without getting a foul or penalty.
yeah,
With Brady.
That's what a lot of quarterbacks today, because they have watered down the football system since the way it was when I was coming up. I understand why with the concussion protocol and all of that. But Brady is a great player, even though they have some stain on his record from the cheating scandals. But overall, Brady, he's a pretty good player. He's a great player. Can't argue with that. And I was surprised to see where Patriot fans yesterday had a parade for him. They had goats walking through the street with his Patriot jersey on. And I was like, all right, that's a lot of respect for him. But I'm sure the game is still young, 6-7. So it'll work out in the end. And so,
well, he's definitely a talented player, but I always go for the underdog.
Well, they won the Super Bowl last year, so they really not an underdog. They won the Super Bowl last year, so which was good because he went to Tampa and led them to the Super Bowl. That's just tell you he's a damn good player. Now, I've never really been a fan of him, but he's a good player. You can't take that from nobody. When they come and take a team that was last in place to the Super Bowl, that tells you a lot between that player and the coaches and the respect that they have. So, but that's cool.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm as always letting me call in and express my opinion, letting me speak on it with Kurt Dart. Whenever I have time, I'd love to be a part of the show. So
I appreciate
it.
I appreciate you for always supporting it and continue to support it. And who knows, you might just might be like, look, you want to co-host one night? Yeah.
Oh,
So
I'd have to get a microphone and all that and get it set up. But I want I know this show is gonna grow, continue to grow, and you always give very factual, entertaining information. If it's on the show, it's true.
exactly. And we do our research. We definitely do our research. So we try to make sure we put out correct information. And I thank you, Marcellus Radio, TCal, and all our faithful listener, everybody, even if it's your first time, for listening, because you never know what you might hear, what might be said. But please just come with facts. And as always, anybody can call in. The number is always strolling across the top of the stream, so you can always call in. And I definitely appreciate my schedule have changed quite a bit. So sometime I may not be on strictly at 8, but I'm trying to come on. If for some reason I'm not going to make it, I will put a message out. But my schedule have completely changed, and I try to make sure I'm able to research things the right way. Because if I don't feel comfortable, not prepared to come on, I'm gonna be like, no, I need to do more research on this story. Kind of like I forgot the young man name out of Houston that was killed during the ice storm. I'm still working on research for that because someone reached out to me about a month ago to ask questions about it. So we're trying to get that together too, for we can give an update on that case. And hopefully we'll be doing that here shortly. So, but I appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna always be tuned in. I'm gonna be tuned in because I learn a lot. We all learn a lot, and I really appreciate you and Mr. Steve.
I appreciate you all aboard, and holidays is coming up, and it's going to be a great one. I just feel some big plans are going to happen, and hopefully one of us win that Powerball.
I gotta play. I have to play. But if we don't win, just know at least we have $1 in our pocket.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, yeah, one day I'm gonna win the lotto, but I guess I have to play it in order to win. So one day I win. I'll go ahead and put $1 or $2 on it and see if I can win. But I appreciate it, and we're still making plans for next year. So once we get it all in order, we will let you know. That's why it's so important. People should be going to anchor.fm to subscribe to the show, because some of the things we have coming up, we want to be able to do this and be beneficial for everyone. So, but I appreciate you all aboard, and we will talk again tomorrow. I'm gonna do a couple of announcements that I should have did at the beginning of the show, but then we're gonna get up out of here because my day start about 5:15 in the morning, so it'd be rough.
Right.
But I appreciate you, and I continue to support the show, and if it's anything that you want us to speak on, definitely hit me up. You can always text that number also, and I will respond back. So,
all right, I'll do that. Well, thank you, and you have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye. That was all aboard a faithful listener on YouTube called in and talked about a couple of stories. And also, I do apologize. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show. But if you are in the DFW area and actually need assistance with your rental and mortgage payment, go to faithformula.org, www.faithformula.org, which is one of the ministries at Friendship West Baptist Church. If you go to friendshipwest.org, it should be a link in there for Faith Formula. And fill out the form. So even still in the midst of a pandemic, Friendship West is still doing ministry work, helping the community, still on the front line because um, you will find out more things on there. Like I said, if you are in the DFW area, as the holidays get ready to approach, they have teamed up with people to provide meals for folks also. So definitely go on there and register for that. Um, or if you know somebody who could use some help with food during the holidays, something like that, let them know. But please go to friendshipwest.org. The information will be on there. And for the rental and mortgage assistant, go to www.faithformula.org. And I thank you, Pastor Haynes, for giving the leadership. Um, and continue to be on the front line, even in the midst of a pandemic. We're still on the front line, still doing a lot of stuff in the community, taking care of the community, which is what the church should be doing, and that's what your leadership have done. So I appreciate you, and until tomorrow night. 8 p.m. Central Time, if the Lord says the same, I will be here. Hopefully, we will um, have a lot more conversation going on. And follow me on all social media. Um, I will respond back. I will communicate with you, but no foolishness. And check out TikTok. I've been doing some TikTok videos. Yeah. I still need a young person to show me how to edit some things, but I've been doing TikTok videos and mainly of me cooking. So uh, I've done a lot of grilling so far, but tonight I switched it up. Um, every once in a while, you know how you just want some that good old soul food sudden um, Sunday meal. Well, I had taste for some. Please don't judge me. I don't eat a lot of I don't cook a lot of fried food at home. I may do it maybe once every 2 or 3 months or something. But I had taste for some fried pork chops today. And Lord, they was good. Uh, Fried pork chops and homemade uh, macaroni and cheese, um, some cabbage. And for my meat, for the cabbage, if y'all haven't caught on to it, I use turkey tails. Don't knock it before you try it. Turkey tail is really good. And your cabbage, your greens, all of that. Kirk Dog telling you that turkey tails. And I had to do some of that cornbread, um, some of that cast iron skillet cornbread. Had to do some of that. So go to TikTok, check it out. Who you with, Kirk Dog, and check it out. Like the video, subscribe to that channel too. We're trying to hit everything up. So until tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace. I feel you. I feel you, radio. Ain't nothing wrong with fried pork chop. Go check out the video though. I love my pork chop fried, crispy. They good. So check it out. Until tomorrow.